welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Magical Michelle, and this week we have the nice, beautiful last new moon before eclipse season. And yes, we have already passed that full moon and we're already in the eclipse portal. So let me just kind of explain where we're at. Today is Monday, the 11th, and when we look at the astrology, yesterday was the new moon and it was a super moon in Pisces. So we have one more week of Pisces season, just one more week. And in that, just let me remind you that Pisces is the dreamer. So one thing that happened yesterday and even today, a lot of people said they've been low energy. They want to sleep. And it's been much more than just the time change. I know we kind of get all thrown off with the time change, but it's really because we're being asked to go into our dreams. We're being asked to look at our desires and be in rest mode, because we're going to get super, super intense. This is the perfect time to continue to do any new moon manifesting. This is the week. We have that beautiful energy. We've now moved into Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And next week we will actually have that astrological new year and the spring equinox. It's early this year. It's the 19th, which is Tuesday. So we have just this 1 week of new moon energy before we move into Aries. So we're in Aries moon, but Pisces sun. And it's dreamy, it's activating, and hello, we're getting close, but there's still no planets in retrograde. We're going to enter shadow season for Mercury next week. So this really is the week for getting clarity, and if there is any candle magic you want to do, or writing magic, or water rituals, this is the time. And what I really want to say is, as we get closer and closer to the eclipses, it's going to get more and more intense. And I think what happened is, over the weekend, we technically, when we hit that new moon, entered into the eclipses. And so it's a gate that opens, and we are now in the new moon that correlates with the full moon. So if you look at a full cycle, the next new moon will be the Great American Solar Eclipse. So now is the time to be like, what is it that I am intending? Where do I need to harness my energy? How am I going to be in it? And what do I have to do to be ready for it? And so that's a lot. It's a lot. And it's the beginning. It's a really potent, there's all these new beginning signs. The fact that it was a super new moon, and the next one will also be a super new moon, even though it's an eclipse. We're in a season of 5 new moons that are super moons in a row. And then we have this Libra eclipse right after the spring equinox. So there's a lot of energy coming and a lot of energy available. But what happens when we enter into a portal like this is we have to upgrade. Every time the planet upgrades, every time the stars upgrade, we've got to upgrade. And that means our bodies have to recalibrate to our new path, our new desire, our new dreams. And we really are in that space of letting the frequency that is no longer serving us be part of the past. And when it comes to healing, This might be one of the best months of your entire life. Now through that first solar eclipse, and we have 2 in the year, and everything in between is an energy portal. This is the end. We have finished one eclipse cycle and we're starting a new 2.5-year cycle of eclipses. We are also having this second solar eclipse that is visible in the United States. So all the international astrologers are really, really looking at what is this going to do for the United States, especially being that this is an election year. And what I'm really looking at here for you, what does that mean for you? Because that's all we really care about, is how is that going to impact us? And so I look at, who do I have to be? And in this case, who do you have to be energetically to navigate this new energy? And when you do that, it starts eliminating anything that is no longer part of who you are. So you're giving it up, you're surrendering it. And a lot of times that's outdated belief systems. Sometimes it's all the clutter in your house. Sometimes it is time to let go of a relationship you've held on to. And sometimes it's just the brain clutter. And when you do that, you step into a new frequency, and that frequency is infinite. The ability to keep raising your vibration is infinite. And why I say this is because I've seen a lot of people kind of holding tight to the status quo, because change is scary. You might lose something. You might, if you're your most authentic self, someone might judge you, or you might, they might not agree with you. So therefore there's an opportunity to lose something. And this is the real deal here. If it wasn't meant for you, you will lose it. But if it was always meant for you to have it, if it was always good for you, always aligned for you, always going to take you in the direction you want, then it will always be there. If it is meant for you, it is not going away. If it is good for you, it's not going away. It's definitely one of those things that if you're going to have your dream life, and I know every single one of you can have your dream life. You can have a magical life, but you can't be the victim. You can't be inauthentic. And that's what's really happening here. We're being asked to step up and step into the vibration. If you've been manifesting a change, you can't be the old person. If you've been looking to have something come in that you really, really want, you have to have space for it. You have to allow it to come in. And we are balancing, we're right at the equinox. This is the last week where the sun in the sky is less time than the moon in the sky. So it is the last week where the moon rules the day. And that means we will be entering high growth season. So what are you planting? What are you calling in? What are you manifesting? And we're still in that manifesting portal all week through the weekend. So literally all this week is a manifesting energy, and even the spring equinox next week. Where it starts getting tricky is 3 days before the eclipse. So really, I'm going to say until the 21st of March, this is when you want to be super clear. And I know I've been saying this is the time to manifest for like 2 months. This is the end of that time. This has been the sweetest spot for manifesting, getting clear on your vision and your dreams we're going to have for 2024. So now is the time is now. And if there was any part of you that didn't feel like you had stepped fully into 2024, this is it. Next week is the last of the New Year's. It's the astrological New Year where we move into Aries. And so claim that dragon. What are you going to do with that fire energy of the dragon? Because it's going to be some very fiery energy with the eclipses coming on. And what do you have to do to go through the tunnel of the healing chamber? What do I mean by this? We are now in that moment where the eclipses are upon us. And to me, this is a portal for healing. This is karmic healing. This is past life healing. This is getting right with anything you have been out of alignment with for the last, lifetime. Literally anything from this lifetime that you've been trying to learn the lesson, that you've been trying to get out of an old pattern, out of the stuck, because trust me, you will be unstuck. Whether you like it or not, we are all being propelled forward. So if you're holding on to something for dear life, surrender it now with grace and ease and love and joy before it is taken from you and you're devastated. So by surrendering and letting go and getting ready for the ride and being in the energy flow, which Pisces is water, and the flow, right? When you do that, then you get to be going in the direction that divine timing is taking you. So you have a choice. You can wait a month and have it abruptly, and crazily, transformed, or you can be ready for the energy next week, ready for the energy next month, and be in the free flow of it. And that becomes where grace comes in. So what I'm going to ask for you is in the next 30 days, and really for me, I'm going to say 6 weeks, I'm going to invite you to be more aware of your self-care, self-love, and practices that support you in your evolution. This means if you need to say no to something and rest, you do that. If you need to get up and activate and exercise and get out and be in nature, for example, do that. If you need to do something you've been resisting doing, but you have to do it, just get it done. If you know that you have some piece of unfinished business, go get that business taken care of. And choose for you. Radically choose yourself over others, which can be a little extreme, can be a jarring answer. But as we get ready for this new season, because of where Aries falls, I'm going to call this the I am that I am eclipse season. It's a new moon in Aries a month from now. And it is a solar eclipse. So that'll be the sun and the moon in Aries. And the North Node is also in Aries. And so this means, where are you in conjunction, in alignment with your own essence as God or goddess? I am that I am. So what are you speaking into being? What are you writing into being? What are your actions telling the universe you want? This is not a good time for sarcasm. It isn't a good time for saying things that aren't true for you. It's actually really potent and powerful to get really clear about speaking clearly and honestly to yourself and to others. I want this, and I'm claiming it, and I am doing the action steps that align with that. Because when you're in that kind of flow and you're following your true north, then everything works beautifully, synchronistically, magically. It's like following the golden thread. That's when you're in the flow. And so this is the week where you set that North Star path. Where are you going? Set your compass and decide, this is where I'm going. Because for the next 6 months and really into the next 2.5 years, you're going to be on a path that you're setting right now. So where do you want to be? Where are you going? Who do you want to be? And who do you want on your team during that time? And here's the real question as far as team members. Are they going to have your back? Do you trust the people you're surrounding yourself with? Do you trust them to support you and love you? And are you in divine union? And we'll talk more about divine union next week as we get close to that equinox. So right here, right now, set that new moon intention. Set those new beginning intentions. All this week, you have all week and into the weekend to get clarity, to get truth, to do ritual, to write it into being, to speak it into being, to action it into being, and to dream it into being. Because yes, meditation, dream time, anything that is finalizing, how do I want it? I can have it any way I want. How do I want it to be? Is those last pieces of Pisces season. So as we do that, think about what you create in your mind's eye becomes true in your reality. That's where we are. And so dream it, speak it, feel it, emotion it into being. And that will start retraining your brain. And your eyes and your experience will start looking for it. And if you want to take it one step further, ask it as a question in your meditation. How can I make this better? How do I really want it? Because your brain in questions will look to solve and find the answer. So if you're looking for a problem, you will find problems. But if you're looking for, how do I make this even better? How is it possible? How can I have it? What is possible? Then you're going to have this experience of your brain looking for the evolution, looking for that next step, looking for what is possible. And I have a way that I sort of say it if I say something or I'm worried or my big, beautiful brain gets in the way, I say, no, I let that go. Cancel, clear, delete. I don't want that. What I really want is this. So sometimes you can't help the negative, erroneous thought from coming in, but you can squish it down. You can be like, no, that's not what I want. I'm not even going to let that thought take seed. And you replace it with the more powerful thought of, this is what I really want. And this is who I'm going to be. And this is who I'm going to stand for in this new powerful energy. So I am that I am is going to be a running topic, especially starting next week with this Aries energy. So when we hit Aries next week, start thinking about, I am that. I am. Whatever you say, whatever you think, whatever you speak, you are going to be that. So if you're creating your own reality, think about opening up a box and what's in that box. Do you want it? Do you want what you're creating? oh no, I just said something horrible. My worries and my concerns and my fears just gave me something I don't want. So we're going to return that. We're going to turn it back over, and we're going to claim instead, what do I really want? The present that I want, the experience that I want, the version of me that's going to support my dreams for the next 2-3 years, the rest of my life. Who am I becoming? Who am I allowing to step in? This is that time. And it's exciting, folks. It's magical, really. This is an opportunity for true transformation. That may come with a little bit of difficulty and may come with a little bit of action that must be taken on your part. And it may also come with this piece of you that must be let go of. And that just is part of the transformation. So as we step magically, what would I do? I would do cleansing rituals. That's saging your house. That's taking salt water baths. That's doing anything that's very, very intentional to be in that allowing the old version to be purified, and anything that anchors in and creates. It's a perfect week for vision boards. It's a perfect week for a little candle magic. I got mine all set up here with its intentions. It's a perfect week to be creating a list in an affirmation standpoint. And it's the perfect week, more than any other, to really get clear on your dreams and your visions. It's one of the reasons why, if anybody knows me, I schedule my events and activities around the moon. And I'm teaching a theta healing class this weekend, which is called The Game of Life, because it is super intense about creating an intentional reality. So if you're a theta healer that's taking basic, advanced, and digging deeper, there is spaces in the Game of Life class. But even if you're not a theta healer, this is the weekend to kind of give yourself a mini retreat to get clear on your vision and your practices. If you are wanting to do a little ritual on this beautiful equinox next week, I do have an Egyptian oil temple and sound healing that I'm doing with Patrick next Tuesday at the center, A Place for the Heart, where we are going to be celebrating the equinox together. And more importantly, if you personally are ready to take this transformation all the way, and you are ready to bring your life into perfect alignment, I have 1 or 2 spots for my coaching programs available. These are one-on-one, curated to you. I have Align with the Light and the Abundant Healer coaching programs available right now. And if that is something you're looking to do, now is a perfect time to commit to that transformation. And I'd be happy to have a conversation with you if that feels right for you at this time. So send me a message and we'll hop on a call and see if this is the time. Okay, so just a little sum up. Your last week of clear intention making and intention setting before we're deep in the eclipse cycle. So we've come through the gate. We are now in the portal of eclipses, but it's still new moon and it's still no planets in retrograde. So it's a mystical, magical time. And I know you've got what it takes to go all the way. So I invite you to turn over anything that is no longer serving you and get realigned with the person you're becoming, because that magical person is ready to shine, is ready to do its thing in the world, is ready or not, here it comes, going to be part of New Earth. I know. If you're here listening to this, you're part of New Earth, and it is time for us to raise our vibration and be part of the solution and have our dreams come true. And I know the politics and the world at large may look like that is not happening, but that's just the media. We are actually winning the war about love. More people are meditating in mass meditation than ever before. We have more healers, coaches, and spiritual workers coming online. We have more people bringing those things to the mainstream, to corporate work, to the normal everyday lives. So pretty much we are guaranteed to win the war on love. It is coming fast. It's a quantum thing that's happening. And I offer this to you as a promise that the world may get a little weirder before it gets better, but it's going to get better. And we're part of the change, and we're part of the solution. So find your joy, find your magic, and I'll see you on the other side. And I'll catch you next Monday. Live magically.